Good afternoon, everyone. California burns, winter storms coming in southeast U.S. We got the EVs having a difficult time charging. Let's take a look at it. And a little beauty for you to start it off. Ice pyramids in the Great Lakes. I don't know if I'd go swimming in that, but every body of water is experiencing something very similar. Wind and wave action across the Great Lakes. Here's your snow map taking you out to the 22nd of January. But I want to draw your attention to the southeast U.S., that red striation. Atlanta Airport, one of the busiest in the world. Going to be closing down for a few days as we get 6 inches of snow down there approximately. Southeast isn't used to this type of snow. An inch will shut things down in Tennessee, so what would 4 inches do further south, about 500 miles. Anywhere in blue, right here's your map up through the 12th. If you're in the blue coloration, get out the snow shovels because your next winter storm is here. And what's interesting is that horizontal line exactly like it was in Virginia and Missouri and Indiana, but this time it's south of Tennessee. We get Georgia, Alabama, a little trend over into South Carolina, got Texas with the ice storms. Now this is going to create an enormous amount of havoc. Southeast is not prepared for snow removal on the roads at this level and this depth, especially ice. If you're going to be traveling, you are going to be delayed. Also, second Arctic vortex out of 3. Remember, this is a 3-pulse storm that we're having here for January. Second pulse is coming in, and we're going to start to see these below normal temperatures sweeping as we speak. And this is your map on the 8th, and that will continue further south. And what we saw before with these record cold temperatures, power outages, and they kept that same exact horizontal line following where ice, snow, and sleet were falling. Where the storm goes, you're watching the power go out. And it's a pretty good correlation here. If you look at the previous storm warnings, you'll see where the power outages were. So now shift that 600 miles south, and we have the same exact thing going on again, just in a 2.0 fashion. And this will be your below normal average temperature anomaly. So if your average temperature is 30 degrees, then this will be, 20 degrees below that. That'll bring you around 10 Fahrenheit. But this is going to continue to sweep south. And the power outage will continue, so get ready for that. Now, if you have an electric vehicle, you're going to think about spending a little bit of extra time to charge. So what we saw here was the charging station that normally has how many places to park and charge. This goes all the way down the street and wraps around the block. Now, it's not like a gas fill up where you're in and out in 5-10 minutes. This is you're in and out in 2.5, 3 hours, where the uptake for the batteries is a little slower in cold conditions. Something to think about there. And what are other things to think about also, especially in the cold weather here with the winter storms? Did any of you experience the power outages, and were you ready for it? So even this being able to charge an EV during this cool time also adds a level of complexity. So as we come into the second wave, which is beginning now, it's going to be through the 8th through the 13th. That'll dissipate for a moment. But immediately after that, around the 22nd, we're going to get a very cold burst, again, equal to this first one, of approximately 40 degrees Fahrenheit below the normal temperatures, the anomaly, below the average. Swooping in, exact same profile, right down from there's a Canadian border, right down over Florida and down into Cuba. But first, we need to contend with the ice storms. Here's that nasty sandwich that we saw up around Virginia as well. You got this rain on the bottom, the sleet snow mix in the center with the dropping ice, and then you have the snow line. So you got all these three combining right into the danger yellow and purple areas there, sweeping across in, like I say, areas that don't normally get this kind of precipitation and are unprepared for it. Indiana, you're ready for it. Michigan, you always have road clearing equipment. Central Georgia, not so much.
Marjorie has taught millions of people how to grow an abundance of food in a grid-down situation, even if you have no experience, are older, or out of shape.
I've spent decades finding the fastest, easiest, and funnest ways for the average person to be able to grow a lot of food. I've created a step-by-step process that's so simple that even kids to elders have been using it in order to grow a lot of their own food. And you can too, even if you have no experience, you're older, or you're out of shape.
Marjorie's free webinar provides you with the tools and knowledge that you need to thrive during these difficult times.
You'll learn Marjorie's 3-part system for quickly producing vegetables, eggs, meat, and much more. Go to homegrown2030.com. That's homegrown2030.com, or click on that link in the description box below.
And I do want to zoom you in because this is going to cause an enormous amount of travel delays. This is one of the busiest airports in the world with connections to everywhere. I do want to draw your attention here. Atlanta Airport, one of the busiest airports in the world with connections everywhere. So if you're going there or flying in there, expect massive delays. And your ice sleet forecast here, if anything at 1/10 of an inch, it just shuts down forever. But again, the temperatures will warm the following days, but during these days, you are not going to have a chance to travel, nor are those airplanes going to have a chance to really get up because ground staff won't even be able to get in at this icy conditions. So that'll be for the 11th and 12th of those specific days. Southeast is going to get pounded, and here's the snow map if you're just going to go straight snow totals. Even where I'm at in southeast Tennessee, looking at 6 inches, that's a lot more than usual. A couple inches, yeah. 6 inches, that's a lot. But further south, that snowstorm is going to be, that snow line is even further south, which is interesting how it got cut off and shoved even further into the southeast. And if you want to look how this is going to trend, I mean, they're getting snow in northern Louisiana, several inches. New Orleans probably going to get a little sleet, but you can see how it tracks through. And that round area, that's the bypass for Atlanta, and anything at this magnitude, there's not going to be drivers. There speedy drivers anyway, but speedy drivers on snow and ice, that's just a recipe for disaster. And if we're looking overall for the month of January, this will put it in all the way through the 31st, so that dark blue is well below normal temperatures. And swinging up to the 22nd. Again, this is the third and final pulse, at least this time. It looks like there might be something in February brewing, but for right now, we're seeing the same profile. Look in the center there, 40 degrees below the normal temperatures, which is going to, get us to around 10 degrees Fahrenheit in the south. Or where you are before, experience power outages. We're going to have more snow, more sleet, just like this. White out here, full North America. Warmer pulse is going to push down from the Arctic after this. We're going to get a warm up for a little while, a couple weeks, and then boom, right back into the cold again. These are your lowest temperatures on average through these storms here from the 6th to the 21st. Give you a good indication of where you're living and what you've been experiencing. And as I was saying, Cuba going to get in on the action. I was surprised to see how far this is going to push, but there we go, all the way down into like Belize. Going to be 20 degrees or more Fahrenheit below normal temperatures. Interesting. And, it's all because of you. Totally because of you. I was looking at this AP article and thinking, that's because of us. Of course it is. And not to leave the UK out of it, here we go. Record floods sweeping in after their winter storm, record snows, record cold temperatures, and then we have California burning. This is from the aerial view. We've seen an enormous amount of damage, homes burned, incredible winds, and no way to extinguish this. So me living on the farm, my fire department's 20 to 30 minutes away, so we have to take some of our firefighting measures into our own hands, 250-gallon tanks and pressure washers to try to put out bushfires. Works really well. And here's your wind profile. This is hurricane winds just again and again, pulling in unstoppable fires. And your wind gust speed map, or velocity as they like to say. So how fast are these winds moving and fanning the flames? That's the question. That's why it's not extinguishable. It's just moving so fast, 80 mile an hour, 90 mile an hour gusts. Plus, there's a problem getting water there as well. So as we were looking at power outages, this exceeded 3 million people, and now it's come back down again into under 1 million, but at the peak, over 3 million people without power. But it does seem they are now beginning to get it under some control after the wind is dissipating, or at least slowing down slightly. And you could go, whoa, I can't believe 2025. I'd say, hold on. We're only to the 15th of January. This year's going to hold a lot of surprises. Hope you're getting ready. And please join us Thursday nights, 10 p.m. to midnight, rumble.com. Also, Civilization Cycle right over on X, broadcasting live for 2 hours, Ransom Godwin and myself. And we'll see you there. We're going to talk about this 2 hours at a time. I do hope you are getting ready for stranger anomalies coming in. But until next time, bye for now.